So I'm going to Japan next year, and one of the chaperones said, do a research project. It's 1:45 in the morning, and here are 5 things you need to know about Japanese culture and etiquette. Number 1, bowing. So the biggest thing about bowing is that the reason people do it is to put themselves in a state of vulnerability in front of someone who is of a higher status than them. So what does it mean? Well, you can use it in a bunch of ways, like as in saying hello or goodbye to someone, starting or ending a class, meeting, or a ceremony, thanking someone, apologizing to someone, congratulating someone, asking for a favor, or worshiping something, which is kind of a given seeing as it came from a religious sect. Number 2, shoes. Never wear your shoes inside the house. It is considered rude because shoes are outside all day and they collect dirt and gross whatever's on your soles. And it's usually the floors aren't really made of like hardwood unless you're on the porch. It's very impolite to walk your dirty shoes onto a non-hardwood floor, anywhere. So you just take them off. In fact, people actually wear different shoes for inside, such as slippers, and there's actually special slippers for the bathroom sometimes. Never wear the normal slippers into the bathroom because, just don't. And the same thing, don't wear the bathroom slippers outside of the bathroom. Number 3, gift giving. A conventional part of Japanese culture, gift giving is different depending on the occasion. How the present is wrapped is always essential to any gift. If it's not really wrapped nicely, it should be at least given in a bag just to be like, oh, it's presented nice on the outside. Fun fact, the Japanese do not like the number 4 because it is unlucky. So, never, ever buy a set of 4 gifts at a time. That is just because 4 sounds very similar to the word death. And, Another thing, when you're giving a gift, always present the gift with both hands. And when you're receiving a gift, accept the gift with both hands. Lost my blanket. What was that, number 3? Number 4, food etiquette. Biggest thing is to never, ever mess around with your chopsticks because there's like 3 or 4 different ways it could be confused for a funeral ritual. And that's just, I don't even know why they, anyway. It's not polite to stick your chopsticks straight into your food no matter what. That looks like incense, which is usually burned at a funeral or when you're addressing the gods. Never pick up the same food as someone else. That reminds them also of another funeral ritual and is considered utterly morbid. That's exactly what it says, utterly morbid. Do not use your chopsticks to point at something. It's just like using a knife. Maybe don't do that. Stay away from that. Don't fucking touch that. At the very beginning of your meal, say itadakimasu. At the very end of your meal, say gochisusama. These 2 phrases symbolize the beginning and the end of a meal, so it's kind of like bookends. These phrases not only symbolize the beginning and end of a meal, but they're also very polite. They're saying, thank you for the food. Thank you for feeding me. I am pleased with how I've eaten. You know how your mom told you never pick up your bowl when you eat your soup, always bring yourself down to the bowl? Forget that. The Japanese actually consider it polite to lift small bowls so that you don't drop the food. It's considered very gross if you do that. Also, if you don't have a spoon for your soup, it's perfectly fine to just drink it right out of the bowl. You do it anyway, but it's polite in Japan. Another thing you do that's polite in Japan, slurping noodles. Supposedly, it makes the noodles taste better. There's literally no science behind this. It's just customary. Number 5. This is just some miscellaneous stuff I found. First thing is, people don't have loud conversations on their phones in public. It's considered really rude. People don't really speak on the phone when in the train or in a shop, and they usually keep it on vibrate, so it's very quiet. When you're out going for drinks, don't ever drink before you say cheers or kanpai in Japanese. It's considered very rude. Another final thing is, since Japan doesn't really speak English, it's very polite to speak English slow and steadily. Be patient while you're speaking as well. Also, it's recommended to learn a few basic words of Japanese, just because, in case they don't know the word, you might know it in their language. Thanks for listening to my late night rant. It is now 2 o'clock in the morning. I need some sleep. I hope you enjoyed this.